Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my 1971 Toyota Corolla. I acquired this car about, let's say about a year and a half or so ago. I happened to be going to look at a different car and wasn't really happy with what he had available, and I happened to ask the guy, hey, do you have anything else? He goes, yeah, come check it out. Sure as heck, he had this 1971 Toyota Corolla sedan, also known as a Peanut, two-door, buried in the back of his warehouse. He said the car hadn't been run for 6 years, and all I could see was a fender mirror and a little bit of the front end, but I knew what it was, and I kind of asked a little more details. Turns out that he had the car, bought it from his mechanic. It had been sitting for 6 years. Meantime, he had gotten the interior seats reupholstered, and he got a carpet kit for it. And then he just put it in the warehouse, and it just sat there for 6 years. He never did anything with it. So, as it turns out, I got an opportunity to buy this car from him. And ironically, the series is set up a little bit different here. I bought this one first before I bought my 79 Corolla. But I spent a little bit of time with the 79 before I got back to this one. So anyways, we get back to this 71 Corolla. It was all original, sitting on stock suspension. It had steely wheels. The interior wasn't put into it, although it was all redone. And it hadn't been running in 6 to 7 years. So after making the deal, I had the car towed to my home and didn't know what to do with it. I'm not a connoisseur of Corollas, so by all means, if you know more, if you have extra information you want to share, post it below. Correct me, it's fine. I just knew that I loved it. I got my license in a 73 Corolla when I was 16 years old. I just knew I liked the car and I had to have it. That being said, once we did get it home, the paint was pretty faded, so mechanically I didn't want to mess with it too much. I decided I'm just going to go ahead and color sand and buff this thing. So I spent a couple of weeks of taking my time after hours, buffing it, color sanding it, whatever. It's a single stage paint. It's been repainted in the rear quarter panel on the left side before. They didn't quite match the paint right, but you know, who knows what happened to this car in its original life. It has been completely repainted at one time, maybe 2 times. It's kind of hard to tell. It's got different blues all over it, but I do know it's not original. After I got that going, I decided to mess with the carburetor. That's where I learned how to work on the yellow one, because I've been working on this blue one. And we got it fired up and it ran. Didn't have a muffler, so I had to get an exhaust for it. It's just pipe welded on at a local muffler shop. And it actually runs pretty good. After getting all that stuff done and getting it mechanically going, I did have to change the brakes. I fixed those as well. So I learned a lot about doing disc rebuild or brake rebuilds on the calipers, how to bleed brakes. I didn't know any of that stuff before this car. Once we got all that stuff going pretty good, we drove it around a little bit, but I decided I really would like to get some wheels and tires, suspension. First set of wheels I picked up were a set of Southern Way Gill 2s, 14x7 and 14x7.5 mesh. Had those on there for a while and I was really happy with the look, but I wanted something a little more sportier, I guess you could say. So I ended up picking up these 14x6.5, 14x7 Superstar SS01 wheels. There's a +5 offset in the front and a 0 in the rear. Love the way that looks. I'm a lot more happier with that. And to get the stance down, what I did is I ordered a Toy Tunings coilover conversion kit, shortened the strut housing as well as going with some MR2 struts, and dropped it about, well, I'd say it's about 4 inches in the front. In the rear we went with a 3-inch block, and I got some U-bolts from a U-bolt company in New York, and I'll post a link below just in case you guys are looking for them. They're for the smaller axle tubes, and they're just the right size, and you can get them for up to 4 or 5 inches long. So if you really want to slam it, you could do that. I went with enough to cover a 4-inch and used a 3-inch block. Changed the headlights out to the Raybergs. I got those from Toy Tuning as well. I installed the dash pad that came with the car. It was a new old stock, so I put that in there. The car is all original engine. It's bone stock. The transmission, though, somebody at some point converted to a 5-speed. It looks like they changed the bell housing and then they put the 5-speed transmission there, so they had to cut a new hole in the tunnel. Car runs great. It's a fun little car to drive. I've been thinking about wanting to get it painted. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? So many times people told me just leave it alone. It has like that old look to it, the old original look. Other people are saying, no, get the body work done. It's got a few little patches of rust. But whatever the case is, I love this little car. I've had a good time driving it. Leave a comment below too as well. Like I said, inform me, educate me. Don't know much about it. I just know it's a TE21 with a 2T engine in it, and someone converted to a 5-speed. Other than that, we're just having some fun with it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.